I happened to be chairman of the senatorial caucus 3 times, in 98, the year 2000, and in the year 2006, I guess it was. Hello, Kendall. And in any event, I was also chairman of the congressional caucus in the year 2000, the year 2004. That's presidential years. And we filled out all those forms and so forth. And I have to tell you, inasmuch as I was there trying, when they would take us into a room, and we would get instructions about an hour how to conduct these caucuses, and the forms we filled out, and the procedures. Because they're very, very strict on that, because they want to follow the rules of the Republican National Committee on those. So, we followed all that, and I must say this about Mr. Bergsman, who was chairman of our caucus this year. I observed what he did, and I was chairman in 2000, and I was chairman in 2004, and everything was identical in those three occasions. And I'm sure it was in the other congressional caucuses, so he did a good job. And all of that was passed over to that. But that's kind of the what happened up at the state convention and so forth. And now that Mr. Peterson has come in, Mr. Chairman, let's do something here. Why don't you do something for Mr. Peterson?
All right.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to see all of you.
Me and Joel and Sam and Victor Bird and Angie and Art and Mike Bergsman and Ted and some of the others were there the day before the convention. And we got to go through, well, I did, me and Kendall, through 32 hours or 11 hours of testimony. Joel was there the whole time, had to testify. There were 32 complaints against me, and a similar number against Kendall. And the end result was all 32 complaints against me were dropped. And I think there was one that stuck on Kendall. And what we want to do is we want to congratulate Kendall Peterson and recognize him for falling on the sword for the rest of us. We appreciate your service. Kendall was the offer to the gods, to the party gods, so that the rest of us can attend the convention. And you did a great job, man.
I can still see the sword.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a deal. The next thing we want to cover, Mike Bergsman is going to come up here briefly, and then we'll...
briefly is the operative word here. I'm asked to discuss the National Convention. How many of y'all have seen the candidate forum that was done by Saddleback last Saturday? It's on the web. You've got to see it. McCain was master in it, and it really pointed out what the issues of this campaign are. We have a man who's a conservative, who's pro-life, pro-national defense, and said, straight answers. Asked him, what was your biggest failing? Said, here's my marriage, first marriage. No hesitation, no dodging issues. It was an impressive performance by our candidate for president. And I am privileged by the Republican Party of Texas to be a delegate to the National Convention. I was elected at large by the convention. And I appreciate it. That's a great honor that's been given to me. And I'd I'd asked friends around the state for their support. And then we're also sending 6 people from our congressional caucus to the National Convention. 3 delegates, 3 alternates. For instance, Gene Seaman is a delegate. Bill DeLau, who's the executive director for the Republican Party in Cameron County, is going. Beverly Moore, who was several years ago, was the county chair in San Patricio, is going as an alternate, and several others. And the people that get to go to the convention, it's considered people that work hard. They've been election judges. They've been campaigns. They've worked in office and something like Gene have been office holders, and it's considered people that have really put a great deal of their time into electing nominated Republican candidates. You know, it's one thing to work hard to get your guy nominated, and we all have done that. But it's even more important to pull together at the end of the day.
At the convention, you vote on everything, and majority rules. Politics is really largely a game of numbers. And as I said again, forms cannot be changed. You can't add or take away delegates or alternates after the convention is adjourned. Forms cannot be changed. You can't add or take away delegates or alternates after the convention is adjourned.
Can I see your flag, Kendall?
Oh, yeah, I got it. I have to see this. Outstanding.
3, 4, and 3.
Are you proud of it?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.